all the papers today and probably for the next couple of days, at least until they play Atalanta on Wednesday. And that is Manchester United. Pogba saying we need a big change. United lose their 29-game unbeaten run at Leicester, and they were woeful.
They were woeful, got himself back into it at 2-2. And I think Jamie Vardy's goal probably just highlighted the debacle that Manchester United are as a team and team shape. I think they rely too much on individual flair and individual brilliance, especially away. You said about the 29 games unbeaten. We've been in the studio, haven't we, watching Manchester United away when they've gone behind, and a bit of individual brilliance has got them out of trouble. We saw it from Mason Greenwood yesterday. And if you look at... I can't tell you the way that Manchester United play. I can't tell you what their philosophy is. You know, if you said about Liverpool, everyone knows they like to press. Like Man City, they like to press and they like to have a possession-based game. There's teams that play on the counter-attack. I saw Leeds, we're going to talk about Leeds later on, you know, that they're high energy and they go sort of man for man. With Manchester United, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you about the tempo of their passing. I couldn't tell you about their team. I know he plays 4-2-3-1, but it doesn't seem to be any structure in that 4-2-3-1 system.
The problem is with Manchester United is that we can all tell you what they don't do. And what they don't do is they don't get close to anybody. They don't press. They don't get in people's faces. They don't win the ball back high up in the pitch. In the midfield yesterday, there were gaps all over the place. No one was going to engage the Leicester players. It was too easy for Leicester to cut them open.
But even if you don't press as a team, you can be solid and compact as a team. Your first thought can be, let's get back. Chelsea are very, very good at getting back in their shape straight away. Then they go and press. Manchester United don't do that. And Paul Pogba was saying things have to change. The problem that Manchester United have is they have players there that are bigger than the manager. Cristiano Ronaldo is bigger than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Paul Pogba is bigger than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Fernandes probably thinks he's as big as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And when you're managing a massive entity like Manchester United, the manager has to have kudos, he has to have character, he has to have tactical nous, which I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got, but he has to have an edge. The players have to have that little bit of fear of the manager. And I don't think that they've got that of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's a nice fella, he's a nice bloke, he's calmed it all down, he's made it a happier place to be after Dark Cloud, obviously with Mourinho. The spirit is better. But when push comes to shove, they don't look over... The
squad's better as well, actually.
The squad is better. They've had big investment. But look over to the touchline. There's not that, if I don't give everything I've got here, the manager is going to go for me. They don't get that. They don't have that fear. And he hasn't got that charisma about him.
Tactically, they tell me that Kieran McKenna, who's one of the staff, is brilliant. The influence behind the scenes obviously has come from Darren Fletcher and John Murtaugh. They've put a new structure in place very recently. They've just given Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a new contract. So they obviously believe the hierarchy, that the structure that they've created is going to yield good results going forward. From what I understand here, pre-season, early part of the season, the atmosphere at the training ground is absolutely sensational. New standards are being driven. Ronaldo coming in has only helped that. But on the pitch, we have seen very little evidence of that, even in the early part of the season, actually. There was one good performance against Leeds United. Apart from that, let's be honest, I don't think they've actually played very well in any of the games.
It's been individual brilliance, because they have got fantastically talented individual players, but there is no sort of worry that the manager is going to dig them out.
So you think that influence of the manager on the sidelines is that important?
Huge. It is, because
it makes you behave in a way where, for example, let's say they've articulated a tactical plan, this is what we want to do, but no one's doing it because they know they're not going to get in trouble if they don't do it.
Yes, because the manager hasn't got the stature that managers have at other clubs.
But if you look at Old Trafford, Manchester United, it is all about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's done some fantastic things. He's massive there.
No, but he hasn't got...
He's got the winning goal in a European Cup final.
That doesn't matter, Sam. That's as a player. There's loads of players that have been very good players and excellent players that have made good managers. He's not got the managerial CV that goes with managing Manchester United.
So who has, and who could possibly step into that breach? Because you're not going to get Poch. He's not going to leave PSG. You can't hire Brendan because he was at Liverpool. And you would, because he's a very good manager. Nagelsmann's not going to be available. Antonio Conte, you could get Antonio Conte, but then you're ripping up everything that I just said about the long-term structure that you've put in place.
But then they have to make a decision of this long-term structure. Are they setting for mediocrity? Are they settling for, or let's come fourth, third? Because Manchester United have to be winning trophies. That's the prerequisite. And they are, under Solskjaer, they're nowhere near. He's not on the level of Tuchel. He's not on the level of Jurgen Klopp. He's not on the level of Guardiola. Those three managers are in total control of their players and their team and the way that they play. Now, for Pogba to say, But
Antonio Conte is not going to do what Tuchel, Klopp or Pep Guardiola has done. Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, they've built a club. They've built the club. They've come in, they've made an impact, and they've built a club. They've built a philosophy.
But you could see where they were going. You could see the direction, especially on Jurgen Klopp. You could see when he went to Liverpool, decidedly average. You could see the direction that Liverpool going. You could see the philosophy he wanted. You see the sort of players that he wanted. So he's totally in control of all of that. I don't think Solskjaer is in control of his players. If you saw it yesterday, there was no urgency. Jamie Vardy's goal.
Oh, well, that's just ridiculous. It comes 20 seconds after a restart.
So
They've just got themselves back into the game.
There's nobody galvanising their team.
Maguire's not fit.
Well, again,
there's no doubt that he isn't fit.
But that was highlighted by the first goal from Tielemans when
he's dawdling on the ball.
He's dawdling on the ball. So he puts him in because you're struggling. So I don't think it's a football team, but it's a business, right? It starts from the top, the leader. You have to have that certain edge, you have to have that certain charisma, you have to have that certain presence. Solskjaer hasn't got that. Sam, the only reason he's got it is because he's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and he used to play for Manchester United. That's it. It's not on his managerial qualities.
I think it'd be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of months. I know they've got a lot of big fixtures coming up in the next few weeks, including the Manchester derby. We're going to do this show from Old Trafford next Sunday because it's Manchester United against Liverpool. It's a big day. Obviously, all this news is happening as well, so we're going to be there at the ground from 1 o'clock next Sunday afternoon. There are huge fixtures upcoming for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Richard Arnold, I think, is the current executive director. I think he's going to move into
Ed Woodward's
position in the not too distant future. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, I think, because I think they've obviously stuck with Ole for a very long time. They will stick with Ole for a very long time, and as long as they possibly can, I think, because they do believe in what he's doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given him a brand new contract.
All too comfortable. It's all too comfortable there. The players are too comfortable. You saw it on the pitch yesterday. There's no reaction from the players. If you have an edge, your manager has an edge, and he's in total control of the players, and they're buying into him and the way he wants them to play. I mentioned the three top managers. If you don't do the way that they want to do it, you're out. There is that fear. I don't think there's the fear from Ronaldo. There's not the fear from Pogba. There's not the fear from Fernandes. The younger players obviously have a bit more to prove, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't got that aura about him to control that group of players and make them do what he wants. But I don't even think he knows himself the way he wants to play. You say about McKenna being tactically great. I don't see that on the pitch of Manchester United.